half these people out here saying that if you're a company driver, you ain't trying hard enough. You got the other half out here saying if you go buy a truck, you're a dumbass. Well, they're both wrong. I think the worst thing you can do as an adult is to take a poll and feedback from all these different chatterheads out here, all these different voices out here that's got something to say about what you're going to do. I've said it so many times before, but it bears repeating. There ain't nothing wrong with having a few people in your circle or close by that you trust what they have to say. Some people, if not an expert, are certainly someone interested in your well-being and to guide you in the right direction, even if it's an open forum conversation just for you to bounce some ideas. But who gives a kiss my ass what all these people are saying online, Facebook or forums or wherever it is that you're reading? You can go right now and look anywhere on any forum or any of these dreadfully toxic Facebook trucker pages and find people talking about how stupid it is to buy a truck right now because freight rates are low. Or if you're a company driver, damn owner operators are telling you that you ain't trying hard enough. You ain't a real truck driver. I think one of my least favorite terms in this business is steering wheel holder. That is the most aggravatingest, borderline hypocritical, worrisome ass statements. Because people throw it out there and try to hit you with it like it's some derog. Well, you know, if you ain't owning a truck, you just steering wheel holder. Bro, just because you got a payment on that truck don't mean you any better than any of these company drivers. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Aside from that, people that are wanting to be a company driver, if that's what you're watching this video because the algorithm put it in front of you for one reason or another based on what I'm talking about, whatever it's titled, so on and so forth, there ain't nothing wrong with being a company driver. I know several companies that are paying good money, and a couple of them that I feel like will continue to pay good money even when freight rates go down because of their very specific contracts and whatnot. And I'm going to tag ThomBell, midlife trucker. He works somewhere. He's got documented progress from his time where he's at over at Cheeseman. This isn't me bragging about Cheeseman. That's where he's at. And he broke 6 figures in a year working there last year. That's without referral bonuses, by the way. He broke 100, made 105, 106, but actually with referral bonuses made 135, 136. And you talk all the shit you want about him. People say, well, you know, he had them handed to him or whatever the case may be. But somebody who's not willing to get in somebody's corner and support them when they're doing well like that, well, you don't need them in your life anyway. So if that's what people think, that's what people think. He did well as a company driver and he moved on. He wanted to try something as an owner-operator. Tried a couple companies. Didn't like them. He documented it on his page. Page is going to be in the description of this video. Because I respect the man a lot. He's done a lot as a company driver. Tried some stuff as an owner-operator. Didn't like it. So he was already making north of 6. He was already making over $100,000 a year. And that's not staying out 6-7 weeks at a time either. He was home for a 34 a lot of times. Every, 10, 11 days or whatever it was. But he tried owner operator, didn't like it. Didn't suit him. Didn't fit him. That don't mean anything against him. So, if you're watching this video and you're trying to figure out if you need to be a company driver, if you think about buying a truck, well, let me tell you about owning a truck. It's like being a company driver with a whole lot of bullshit. Yeah, you got to clean it all up. You don't just get to go sit at the truck stop and wait for a phone call if a load cancels. No, brother, you got to get to work. you got to get to work. That just messed your week up. Depending on how your finances are, that just pushed the house payment back. All right? Now, the upside to owning a truck is you get to enjoy the good times. Okay? You get to enjoy the good times. I myself, I don't like to live in Neverland and say that I'll never do anything, but if I have anything to do with it, physically and mentally, have anything to do with it, I will not ever be a company driver ever again. I personally can't imagine asking someone's permission to go home. It makes me physically ill when I think about putting in a home time request. When I'm ready to go home, I just don't book another load. That's it. I can't even imagine what goes on through some of these dispatchers' minds when they try to give anybody pushback. I personally have not really ever had a whole lot of issues, and I know that some of you work somewhere and they're just great. That's awesome that you found a place like that, but not everybody has that luxury, okay? But I can't even imagine what goes on some of these dispatchers' minds whenever you go put in a home time request and they try to give you a little shit about it. Somebody that goes home every single night to their family. And one could argue, well, you know, this is the industry I chose. That's exactly right. This is the industry that I chose. So what did I have to do? Something about it is what I had to do. Some people, this doesn't bother. And that doesn't make you or me better than one another. Okay? Some people are just all right with it. I just know I'm going to be out for whatever it is, 14 days, 16 days, and then I'm going to just put in my home time request. They're going to get me back on into the house. But guess what? When you're home, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You got to worry about booking loads. You got to worry about a DOT audit, which I got one coming up now because I'm running my own authority now. Which if you're leased under a carrier, you wouldn't have to deal with that. But my own authority, I got a DOT audit coming up that I got to deal with when I get home. That everybody has to go through when they first get their numbers. But you got so many folks out here that are company drivers that are talking down people's throats. They're thinking about getting a truck. Well, freight rates are going. Every damn body turns into an economist when you start talking about your money, right? Everybody. I made the decision I made on purpose. I wasn't just accidentally walking through Charlotte, North Carolina one day, tripped over a curb, fell into this Freightliner, and then walked through the parking lot and tripped over the sidewalk and fell into the contract room where I signed the contract for this truck. I made this decision on purpose with a lot of thought in mind. And the home time thing wasn't just one, it was one of several. Having to sit and wait on a load, not being able to look at the load board. I wanted so bad when I was a company driver, just let me see what you see. I know you putting a load on somebody that you like better than you like me. That's all you doing. That's why I'm sitting here delivering something at 3 in the morning and my next load don't pick up till 11 o'clock tomorrow night and I just came off a 34. You know, that kind of shit. I wanted to be in as much control as I possibly could. I've said it, I'm going to be under the thumb of the DOT, and I'm going to be at the discretion of the shippers and receivers, but I want to control as much of this business that I want to. Why? Because I love it. I love it. And yeah, sometimes I do have to stay out a little bit longer. I was out for 22 days before Christmas. 22, 23 days. But I was home for 2 weeks. Didn't have to tell nobody I was going home, just went home. And I'm not bragging saying I got better than you as a company. I know a guy, several people that was home the same time I was, company drivers. So it ain't necessarily that I got it better than anybody else, but there are more things I wanted to control. I'm telling you my why. I'm not selling you on the idea. I'm telling you my why. I made quite a bit of money running when freight was high. Problem is, there's a lot of fellas right now turning your trucks in because bad things happen. I get it. And I don't fault nobody that gives it up. Says, I'm done. I want to go drive. I want to be on a company gig. That's all right. That's all right. But if you're out here, just know if you decide that you want to do this, you got to do it on purpose. With a purpose, on purpose. I decided I wanted my time at home. I feel like quality time is way more important than a quantity of time. I could have went home. I could have been a day driver or whatever. I could have went back into sales, putting truck driving all to the side. Maybe you're trying to decide whether you just want to get into business. It probably ain't that video, but you know, I'm glad you're here. I could have went back into sales. Worked 60, 70 hours a week. If you've ever been in sales, you know what I'm talking about. Come home every night just long enough to sleep. Wave at my youngin'. If I make it home before he goes to bed, kiss my wife goodnight, and then wake up in the morning and go do it all over again. Sometimes 6, 7 days a week, depending on when we got to be open. You know? Depending on what you're doing. But yes, there are people out here not making it. There are people folding. Should you consider that when you think about getting a truck? Yep. You should consider that. Because they didn't make it, does that mean they were weak? No, something happened. Things happen. Are some of them weak? Absolutely. Some of them are weak because some of them got into the game because they thought freight rates were going to be high forever. No different. That mindset is just as ridiculous as those who, for the whole time rates were high, there were people not buying a truck, steady talking to me about, well, you know, freight's going to go down. Yep. Yeah, that's how the economy tends to work. Up and down. Goes up and down. Yeah, this is going to be bad. Okay. It's going to be that bad, huh? I tell you, everybody becomes a damn economist when it comes to your money. You got to know why you're doing what you're doing. Because if you don't know why you're doing it, you're going to fold. First chance you get, you're going to give it up. See, I look at it like this. This is what I want to do. Now, am I going to be in this truck all the time? No, I hope that one day I can get maybe a part-time driver in this truck with me. I don't know. Not with me, but get somebody to drive it part-time because I want to do other things at home. I don't want to be there all the time. But I want multiple. I don't believe in just one revenue stream. I got other stuff I'm working on at home all the time. I got stuff cooking right now. Ain't got nothing to do with truck driving. But I love this business. I love this job. I love this career choice. And there's nothing outside of me legally not being able to do it that's going to make me give it up. If a farmer has a bad season, the sumbitch don't sell to farm. Okay? He's got all them acres and all that equipment on purpose. You ain't going to make everybody happy. And you're going to have people tell you that well, especially when something happens against you. Say you decide to go get a truck. And something breaks down. Or you start to struggle financially because you ain't picking the right loads. Maybe you don't know how to work a load board. You're going to have folks hit you with some I told you so's. Those are what I call people I used to know. Because you start hitting me with shit like that, I don't need you in my life. You try to be friends with everybody, all you do is become your own enemy. Okay? That's it. That's all it is to it. So when you're considering getting rid of your truck, or when you're considering becoming an owner-operator, just remember, depending on your life, it don't matter what anybody else has to say. And it could be time for you to start sorting out people in your life. Get a big old pair of scissors and say, I don't give a kiss my ass what you think. I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for who? My spouse. Maybe your kids. Maybe you live alone. But you're doing it for you and or you and your family. Trying to build something. Trying to build your life up. Trying to build an empire. Got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. And listening to other people, especially people that ain't done what you're talking about wanting to do. These YouTube certified economists out here working my damn nerves. So this video wants to help you decide what direction you should go. The intent with this video hopefully was to shake you loose a little bit and just know, as long as what you decide to do is what's going to get you and your family to where y'all need to be. If it's just getting you from drowning, okay, that's where you need to be. If it's getting you to the next level, okay, well, that's what you need to do, whatever that thing is. Like I said, there's some companies that pay good money, and you wouldn't have to worry about all this mess. But there is something special about having your truck, picking your loads, doing your business. There's pros and cons to both. And you ain't going to find me, if anything, you're going to find me running defense on these owner-operators out here that are trying to talk shit about company drivers. Makes me so mad. Well, if y'all hung out this long, I appreciate it. Hopefully something helped. It's been on my mind, it's been eating me up. I'm tired of seeing it. So you do what's right. Don't make an enemy out of yourself. Don't be your own enemy. Don't listen to everybody. You can't be friends with everybody. Until next time. Drive on, driver. Y'all stay safe out there.